thought about buy-to-let as an investment? I know I have. Well, stay tuned because I'm going to be sharing Phil Spencer's top tips on how to be a good landlord and get the best out of your rental property. It's not always plain sailing, so a letting agent can really help you through the process. You can find a local regulated agent simply by clicking the Move IQ link below. Buy-to-let for some is still seen as a good investment in the UK by offering more security than, say, stocks and shares. But over the years, being a landlord has become increasingly challenging. The tax breaks on a buy-to-let mortgage have decreased, the stamp duty has increased, and there's an eye-watering 160 plus different pieces of legislation you need to comply with. But owning a buy-to-let is still attractive to some. So how can you get the most out of it? First, you need to make sure you know the law and your obligations as a landlord. These include safety measures like smoke alarms and carbon monoxide detectors, safety tests for all gas and electrical kit, checks on furnishings, and registering the deposit with a tenancy deposit scheme. Being a good landlord also means keeping lines of communication open, so the tenant knows who to contact if there are problems. So how else can you be a good landlord, the kind that tenants want to stick with? Make sure the property is in a good condition for each new tenancy. A new coat of paint, tidying the exterior, and fixing any minor issues. Or create a good impression. If you're letting the property as furnished, you might need to replace items like a squeaky bed, a worn-out sofa, or an old wardrobe. Fortunately, you can offset some expenses against your tax bill, but make sure that you check the rules around this. What else is going to cost you? Of course, there's your mortgage, letting agent fees, service charges, and ground rent if you own a flat. Property checks and buildings contents insurance too. So you might be asking yourself, is it still profitable to be a landlord? That often depends on buying the right property. If you find an area with potential, you can invest in a property at the lower end of the price scale and see its value rise over the long term. On top of that, up-and-coming areas command higher rents compared with similar properties elsewhere. In conclusion, landlords have a responsibility to ensure their tenants are safe and have a good experience while living in the property. By keeping up with the legislation, understanding the costs involved, you can budget accordingly. You can enjoy a good rental income while your asset increases in value. If you'd like to stay up to date with all things property related, subscribe now, hit the alert bell, and make sure you check out moveiq.co.uk for all kinds of guides, help, and advice.